The single most important demographic you can possibly pay attention to is millennials. That's a bigger group than Generation X, which is my generation, with more of an impact on their parents, boomers, than their parents have on them. This is a generation with more influence than ever before, so understanding them and relating to them has never been as important as it is right now. And whenever I talk about any group or any generation, I like to start with talking about demographics because they help us really understand what this group is all about. If there's one thing this demographic cohort has in common, you may hear that millennials or young people are entitled or that they're arrogant. I don't believe that's correct. I think they're optimistic and I think they're ambitious. So why I'm mentioning young people today as a group to pay attention to is because I think engaging with this group, however you do, is one of the surest and best ways to innovate and transform your own businesses or workplaces. And so the single most important thing we can talk about how they act is this is your group of digital natives. 95% are online daily. Almost 90% have a phone. Most of those, the overwhelming majority, are smartphones. This one blows me away. I mean, I work in youth marketing, and this blows me away. When I was growing up, it was about having a phone in my room. Y'all remember that? A phone in your room? Seems practically Amish now, doesn't it? A phone in your room? Because it's now about having that device on your person 24/7, 365. Again, how many of you have kids at home? Hands up. How many of your kids have kids with mobile devices or mobile phones? How many of you have kids who are, let's say, under 20 with a mobile phone? Under 18, under 16, under 14? Who here have kids who got their first phone when they were 10 or younger? That's not uncommon anymore. That's the way the world is changing. And so growing up with that kind of digital connectivity from an earlier age, from as long as you can remember, changes absolutely everything. But it's one of the reasons why this group is so powerful. They have an impact on us. They change our behaviors. Some of the ways in which we change or we're innovative, many of the ways in which we do that, comes from the young people in our lives. Again, hands up if you have kids. Keep your hands up if when you want a quick response from them, you call them. And now put your hands back up if you text them. That's exactly what I mean by our behaviors are changed by the young people in our lives, especially in areas of innovation or technology. So more than anything, this group of digital natives who are helping to transform the way all of us work and operate are connected in social media. They're on Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram. Who in the room is on Facebook? Who's on Facebook right now? Okay. Who watches videos on YouTube? Any of you broadcasting on YouTube, your own videos or someone else's even? Okay, cool. How many of y'all are on Pinterest? Who is male and on Pinterest? Party of two, great. Who's on Twitter? Who's on Twitter but you don't tweet? You just use it to curate information. Yeah, that's really common right now. And lastly, who's on Instagram? Who has taken a selfie today? Who's taken a photo of food in the past week? Stop it, you're a part of the problem. I need you guys to stop that right now. Please stop this, stop this. Who checked Instagram or Facebook before they got out of bed this morning? So these are all behaviors that are being driven by the young people around us. I talk a lot about millennials and Generation Z, when talking about innovation, not just because they're a huge market, and not just because they are digital natives, but also because there's a kind of transformative optimism in young people that I think have a huge impact on our ability to keep up with innovation. And we're seeing it right now in terms of the rise of the entrepreneur, right? We've got digital entrepreneurs who are inventing multi-billion-dollar businesses when they're like 20. That's where innovation is. And I think it's actually because millennials, more than any other generation, are really entrepreneurs. So that means, obviously, that they've got that mindset to start their own business. But you can actually harness that and give birth to the intrapreneur. Not everyone, millennials are so entrepreneurial right now, they have such a mindset for it, but not everyone is going to be able to start their own business. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't harness that entrepreneurial nature for your own business and create some kind of an intrapreneur program. And by that, what is meant is letting your young people have as much ownership over what they do for you, almost as if it was their own. It's the best way to create a culture of innovation.